Okay. Those are new steer tires on there?
Yeah, they've never been on the road.
Okay.
So I'm concerned about how the balance is.
Okay.
If they're real bad, I guess we can come back to the mill yard and take them off and have them balanced. But I run semis a lot of times and never did balance them.
Yeah,
So,
they're probably fine.
one major thing, I think it's major. They had a bunch of relays back here in the original equipment in this box.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't let you hit the starter button as long as the charger was charging. It was alternator was charging.
Okay.
They put a bunch of diodes and a bunch of crap in there, and my headlights would do this number.
Okay.
So I disconnected this one wire that went to the light, and it quit the flashing,
Okay.
but I don't know if it's charging.
Okay.
I didn't get that far along. But
Okay.
that's one major thing I was working on. That's not no to tell you on the motor. I believe it was a pretty fresh engine when I bought it, and I ain't heard it. I ain't drove that many miles. I worked on this. Yeah, can't tell. I usually always have to put a little power steering fluid in it.
Okay.
Now, did these things originally came out with a Shepherd steering, or they had a steering like the 4104?
They had both options were available.
But I think he
Power steering assist was more common. I think
he put Shepherd steering on this, and I got one problem with this. If you don't lay the air up all the way, pitman arm or something hits.
Huh. Okay.
So I always laid the air up all the way, and they had no problem with it. I want to check that and see what he does. God, I don't know.
Okay.
Right here is the original owners of the bus. It wasn't ever Greyhound.
I like your electrical outlet there. Nice.
I've got 3 extension cords, and I can't find none of it. I can put more too.
Did you see that?
It's working.
It works, yeah.
The Greyhound didn't have this fancy trim on them.
Ah. Have you checked the coolant level in it?
I hadn't laid it.
It's in there.
Yep. Got some.
Yep.
I'm donating 18 gallons of 40 weight motor oil that I got to change oil in it.
Okay.
And also I'm donating 12 gallons of antifreeze. I put a new radiator hose on it, and I had I ordered the bottom at the same time. So when I put the top one on, I noticed that bottom one needs changing too. But instead of using that old one that was so old, I had a loop send me a new one.
Okay.
So it's in the bus in a box along with new rubber door heads rubbers.
Okay. Yeah, it looked like one of those doors needs about ready to
did.
fall off over there.
Yeah.
So it's got 6.5 kilowatt quiet diesel generator.
7.5.
7.5.
Well,
Nice.
and it's inverter type. It means the more load you put on it, the faster it runs.
How much did you buy that new or?
Now
was
he's on the bus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are like
$6,000 probably.
at least. Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and set the bus a crank.
Yeah. Let me go in the back and make sure
Okay.
he's out of the way and everything, and then I'll give you a holler. He's gonna start. Are you clear? Okay. We're good.
Okay.
It's pretty slow crank. All right.
It was in the 30s last night, so it's very cold out. How bad shape's it in? This would make a cool shop truck, Tyler.
Put a 453 in it.
That's cool too. Needs a little work. Wonder why that hydraulic ram is disconnected.
It's got 10 speed in it.
Nice little baby Detroit. You have a filter wrench. Okay, clear. So we just pulled the, it seems like it's not getting any fuel, and we can see this fuel injector is stuck, and luckily it's stuck in the complete off position on the rack. Otherwise it would have started on the other ones. I knew it wasn't getting fuel for some reason. So we got it freed up. Now I got some fuel going. I've never seen them stick in the off position. I can't believe how lucky that was. That should be fine. Tyler, you gonna be the one to flip the off switch if it goes? Worst case, take out a fuel filter. Yep. Pretty straight. Steering wheel's a little crooked. block of wood holding up the clutch pedal. Couldn't close this door all the way, so we had to leave it a little open. It's got a very stock driver area. Speedometer does not work. 4-speed. It's got the traction control on it that you should not use. That actually disables the front brakes. It's illegal in commercial vehicles. And you can see on the inside it has all the manuals. Shop manual, parts manual, all that stuff. Maintenance manual, parts book. Tufted ceiling. I haven't tested the roof airs yet or anything. Like I said, it's very dated, vintage conversion. It doesn't smell funny in here, I don't think. It's just it smells like old bus. Got some like curtains here in front of this closet. There's no door here. Kind of spaghetti back there. There's a bathroom where you, oops. Well, you'll have to see it later. Bedroom's got the little bed and then the cabinet storage space there. It looks like you can still get to the rear engine access. There's screws down there. So it's nothing fancy. Let me stop it and get my light on so I can show you that bathroom. My bad. So toilet, sink, mirror, and shower. It is very disgusting. The ceiling's coming down there just a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty gross in there. Just needs to be cleaned. But everything's here and functional as far as I know. I haven't gone through the RV system side of it, but up until last year they were using this bus. So it is usable. And yeah, it's got a little sink, stove. There is no refrigerator. That's what used to go here. That's why there's no door. There's a refrigerator that should go here, so there is no refrigerator. But the big thing is the Onan Quiet Diesel that's on it. 7.5 kilowatt. and it runs and it works. That thing alone is worth $5,000 right there. I don't know if I got that seat. I assume it does. It swivels, and there's a step that folds out at the bottom. Down there.
You want to leave the doors open to get the fumes out a little?
No, you can go ahead and close them.
Okay.
Put your foot on it. That's nice. No clunk, no movement. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and take the wheel off. Okay, the airbags look a little old, but they're not like super dry rot. I just sprayed them down with some soapy water and I don't see any leaks on them. The leveling valve possibly might be passing air internally because the front suspension is leaking down. Everything under here looks nice and solid. It's not rusted out. That's a good sign. Brake can looks new. The brake hose for the air brake looks new. There's pull chain drains on the air tanks. The hub looks good. Wheel seal's not leaking in there. There was no play in the kingpin. Hop inside, Jonathan, and take the steering wheel and just lightly back and forth left and right. Keep doing it. Yeah, that's good. There's no play in that tie rod end. That's good. Okay, go around on the other side. There's two pull chains. I'm gonna have you pull them. One of them's back behind the wheel and one's in front of the wheel. Let's try the one behind the wheel first.
One more phone on?
There's a pull chain coming out of the bottom of that tank. See it there behind the wheel?
Oh, there.
Just give a little tug on it. Air should shoot out. Pull a little harder. Keep going. A little bit of oil coming out. Keep going until nothing comes out. Yeah, there's definitely oil. Alright, that's good. Let's try the other one, which is in the front. That's good. Just a hint of moisture, no oil there. This is 23rd week of 2021, so like I said, new tires. Push down hard, yeah, no clunk it. It's good. Okay. leak under here. Grab that flashlight. Come, try and shine it around this back side here. Coming from this airbag is a massive leak. I don't want to screw around with it anymore because that's dangerous, but that is a big air leak in that airbag. That 100% needs to be replaced. The other airbags actually don't look that bad. Brake can looks new, hose looks good, shock's not leaking, it's rusty. Bump stop's decent. Hop inside and jiggle the steering wheel left and right for me. Oh, where's that flashlight at? Actually surprised it aired up with that leak. It's only leaking about 4 psi a minute, so. Yeah, that's nice. Everything's, keep doing it. Even the steering link moves the whole time. It's very responsive. The power steering lines are touching the tie rod end. That needs to get changed. So that's going to cause a rub issue there. Wheel seals not leaking. Looks good on. That's good, huh? You can stop, Jonathan. Yeah, everything looks good on here. Just that one airbag's got a leak. Pretty massive. Lots of mud daubers. But, again, everything is solid under here. It's not all rusted, falling apart. Some 4106s, when we take those top airbag supports off, they just kind of fall apart and crumble. So, not a big deal. So we got this new old stock airbag that came with the bus. It's brand new. It's never been used. No dry rotting or anything. So we're going to throw that on there to replace the one that's got the hole in it. I can't believe it actually airs up. All right, so let's wedge that socket in there so you can get to that air fitting up there. And then once the air lines is connected, you pull it out with the plate. It's easier. Got the airbag on there. It's airing up right now. Okay, now that the airbag leak is fixed, test the air system on here. Obviously that airbag leak was the biggest leak that we had on the bus. It's been 15 seconds and I don't think we've lost a single PSI. Take it out here a little bit more. So 30 seconds and it looks like it's still hanging the same. Maybe a half a PSI, maybe that needle has just budged a hair. Clearly that was the biggest air leak on here. Now we gotta find out if we can step on the brake pedal and if we don't lose air pressure. That'll be our big one. Hey, Jonathan? Yeah, it's been a minute now and looks like we've lost maybe 1 PSI. I'm gonna step on the brake. That initial surge there, we definitely lost some, but other than that, it looks like we're losing about maybe 2 PSI a minute, which is still within DOT. So not too bad. That's with the brake pedal still held down. I'm going to release. He's cleaning all the grease fittings up, and he's greasing everything up here. Just replacing some bay door rubber hinges here. Let's make that look easy. So he's gonna cut it to length there and then feed it in. He's already got the one stripped out of the bay door. The screws are out. There's little screws that hold it in place here, and there's screws up under here too. These were Phillips screws. A lot of times they're flathead screws, so he definitely didn't have any struggle getting them out. You start in the middle. There's a little empty passage there for it. Keep it in the groove. It gets a little challenging right here at the very end. There he goes. Now I just need to slide the bay door in the open position on it, and usually 2 people it takes to do this. So we got a little dish soap down in the thing here, and Hunter's cut off just a little piece of the bay door rubber just to run it through. Make sure everything's cleaned out. Nice. You should be able to get this on, no problem. Okay, so that's probably the original brake can on here. This doesn't have the traditional style spring brakes. This is before that, so it has a drive shaft brake on there. It's got plenty of pads and it works good. The airbags back here are older, but they look like to be in good shape. They're not dry rotted, and it's held air. The rear suspension is held air all night long. Spin this for me. It should spin. Oh no, the drive shaft brake is on. Go inside. Next to the driver's seat, there's a Johnson bar. It's a big thing like a train driver uses. You'll see it if you sit in the driver's seat and release it and fold it down. Okay, thank you. Let's see if there's any movement like in out on it. Does it feel good? No? Okay. So that shock needs to be replaced. I can see it's been leaking some fluid. The rear radius rod bushing mount looks good. The sway bar link looks good. Nothing's crazy rusted down here. Little bit of rust up there, but I've seen it 10 times worse than that. A spring brake upgrade would be nice to do at some point on here. On the 4106, you gotta take that bracket off and move it up. There's not enough room for it, but it's a nice safety feature to have. But I did an air brake test and everything's holding air back here, so it looks good. We're just gonna go ahead and grease everything up back here. I'm gonna check the rear end fluid real quick too, just because it does have a leak on the differential that I see there. Coming out, it looks like the seal, the gasket between the 2 halves of the differential. Get the focus. Fourth week of 2016. Okay, everything over here. These airbags look good. There's no dry rotting on them, and they've been holding air. They stayed up all night. Radius rod in the back looks nice. The bushing centered. It has no movement on it. Same thing with the rear lower one. It's in good shape. The link for the sway bar is in good shape. The bushing on there's something hanging there. This is missing. It looks like the rear flap is missing. There's supposed to be a continuous rubber mud flap that runs between the back there that helps with the cooling on the 4106 from GM. So that's missing. That should probably get replaced. That airbag looks good. That brake chamber, brake hose. I'd probably recommend changing the diaphragm on there. Again, if you do the spring brake upgrade, I think that would be the smartest thing to do. Plenty of brake shoe. The drum looks good. We're gonna get everything greased up here. Wheel seal's good. It's a little wet over here from the differential. Bump stop is missing. It'd be nice to put a new bump stop on there. Both sides it's missing. So structurally, everything looks nice. No major amounts of rust. That shock needs to be replaced. The fluid has come out of it. So we're going to continue to grease everything up here. Check the rear end level. It's easier to get to on this side. That's why they put it back together here. Let's take a look at those bushings for the sway bar. I think that they're worn. A little bit low on gear oil, so they're going to top it off here. Okay, well the paint on it's not real pretty. It's almost like a flat paint, like a primer type. Probably done from a spray can or something. But that's not the value in this bus. The right rear suspension did air down overnight. It did not do that the first night that we had it here. So it might just be that we weren't sitting level and it came down. Otherwise it's either the airbags are leaking a little bit. It took many hours to do it, 12 hours or so to come down or more. And then this clutch pedal issue, we're gonna fix that. That's part of the deal that we're gonna do here. But we have it supported right now. But basically the wood up here is kind of rotted, and when you step on the clutch pedal, the force of it pushes the whole floor down just a little bit, so you're not getting full movement in the clutch pedal. There's also a lot of slop in the mechanism here, this bar that goes from side to side. Our buddy Lance has a 4106 that we converted to an automatic transmission, and he's got those parts under his bus still, so we can, if we need parts, we're gonna get them from him. So I'm gonna fix this floor. We're gonna probably cut the plywood out and put it back in new plywood so that it's reinforced, or something to get it supported so the floor's not rotting out. Yeah, you can see how it's really crappy right there. So we'll take care of that. I'm gonna do that. Engine needs a tune-up. Other than that, some of the things we talked about on the thing, you know, probably if you want to upgrade it to spring brakes, I'd recommend that. Put new brake diaphragms in the back. It needs some new shocks. I wouldn't hesitate at all to drive it across the country right now in the condition that it's in. It seems real good. These tires on the front tires are brand new. The rear ones are still, you know, they're only 6 years old back here. That's plenty good. The engine needs a tune-up. The throwout bearing sounds terrible on the clutch. You can't hear it up front, but in the videos you can hear it squealing back there a little bit. I haven't greased it up yet. We can try and grease it up. That might correct the problem. The clutch grabs real good, feels real good. It's not slipping or anything, so I don't have any concern about the clutch right now. But that throwout bearing, hopefully that noise will go away if we grease it up. But you can see here that the right rear suspension has come down on it. That's why the bus is kind of leaned over to the side. So something's going on with that. Again, the first night we had it 24 hours, and maybe not quite 24 hours. We got back about 1:30 in the afternoon, and when we came out at 9 in the morning, it was still aired up on the right rear. It starts good even in cold weather. It's got some smoke on cold startups, but it has a block warmer. If you use the block warmer, it doesn't start at all, smoke at all when it's warm. It's got good compression. It needs some cobwebs blown out of it, I think, but it's a good bus. And we're gonna help him sell this. We have it listed for sale on our Patreon site. We have several people who've already said that they want it, so we actually have a list on there. So don't join Patreon just if you want to buy this, because it's probably already found its owners. But they have a chance to view this footage and the report that we're doing on it to see if it's something that they want to do. But parts wise, what's here? I mean, those two front, it's $10,000 if you're looking for an idea of what you're looking at. But those are literally brand new tires. He just had them put on this spring. Brand new. They had the stickers on them when we got there. The company came out and put them on the bus on his property, so they had 0 miles on them. They're last year's date code, but they're brand new. That Onan generator is amazing in it. 7.5 kilowatt quiet diesel. It's in very good condition. Starts just a touch of a button. Control it inside. That thing alone, I actually looked that particular model up. Some that have more hours than this one, we're going for like $7,000 on eBay. So, you know, I think I would be comfortable saying that's easily got a $5,000 value, if not $6,000 or more on just the generator. The two front tires, you know, they're worth, you know, $600, $700 a piece. The batteries were brand new in this spring of this year. They were dead when we got there because it had been sitting for a long time, but we charged them and they charged up great, and we haven't done that. That alternator issue, I haven't got into that yet, so I don't know what's going to take on that. I'm not even positive if it is charging or not. I haven't put a meter on it yet to test that, so that's kind of an up in the air question. But if it is, it seems like it's probably just those relays in the back, especially the one that he disconnected, to figure out if there's something wrong with that relay or what's going on with that. Again, I haven't tested that, so that's why there's a no gen light on, but that's because that relay is unplugged. But I don't know if that's letting it charge or not. But we went through and replaced some of the bay door rubbers, and there's some more. He's got a bunch of oil to do an oil change in there. I think there's 17 gallons of CF2 rated straight 40 weight oil in there, and there's coolant to do a coolant change, and there's a new coolant hose in there because he said the lower coolant hose needs some, looks pretty sketchy on the engine. So he's got a brand new one of those, but we haven't changed that yet or anything. But yeah, if the new owner buys it and they want us to do some maintenance on it, you know, they got a good idea what they're looking at now. Overall, it's in good condition. It drove really nice. Clutch pedal is the only thing up front, but we're going to take care of that. Other than that, nothing else I'm taking care of. But we'll be happy to do the maintenance for them if they would like to hire us to do that, or they can come here on our property and they can come here and work on it themselves. We'll let them do that. One of the options that we have. So again, this trim piece he's got, it's in the bus, and he's got new clips to mount it on there. And I think there was one missing over here. He's got that in there too. The one that goes on this door, that's in the bus. So it does have all of its trim. The D window's a little, it'd be nice to see if you can get that rubber from Luke anymore and replace that D window rubber, because it's petrified and coming apart on there. So it's not perfect, but for $10,000, I mean, to get a bus with good rubber on it, decent airbags, that generator, again, that's half the value of the bus is that generator. And if you buy this bus for 10, you could easily sell that generator for $5,000. And you definitely have a great bus for $5,000, but that generator's nice. I'd hate to see it get parted out, because I think it can be turned into something really, really nice. And yeah, I think it's a cool bus. I haven't tried any of the RV systems at all, but all that stuff is in there. There's tanks and valves under there. It's got the 2 rooftop airs. I don't know if they work or not, but there it is.
up the holler through the trees. And from a mile away you can hear them play as they climb that hill with ease. But at the top of that mountain there's a new life waiting for those who can make the run. If they can make it to the top, Scott will put them in the shop till their new life has begun. Bus Grease Mountain, where the buses come to run. Bus Grease Mountain, we're gonna get that big job done.